Hello, Daniel here with some thoughts on teaching in an online environment. I want to thank everybody for the contributions, for what we've been learning from each other during these past 4 weeks, and thinking about thanking people. I mean, big thank you to Tommy here and for not giving up on us. I'm sure it wasn't easy, and I guess that's also a reminder for all of us to stay in touch with our students later and keep encouraging them and expecting great things from them. And so, as I'm thinking about the online environment coming up as we teach this class, I'm thinking about it in the function of a TA for Dr. Kirsten Kim as she's teaching theology of mission. And I think a big thing for me as I'm thinking about theology of mission is to engage on a global scale, to just be aware that the way we think theologically in the 21st century will very much be informed of what is happening outside the West, that is to say, what's happening in the majority world, in the global South, as it's also called, Latin America, Africa, and Asia, where Christianity is growing, and increasingly there are also theological resources available. And so one thing I'm thinking about is to make use of our friendships and contacts that we might have in other countries. Let's say maybe there's a contact with a pastor or professor in Cameroon who could make a video clip or could come in on a video call for like an interview, like a Q&A session. And then, of course, there might also be video materials from ministers in places like Argentina or Asia or even from all contexts to all contexts. Maybe we could engage with a Brazilian missionary who is in the Middle East at this point, or maybe on furlough, and who could share a bit about their experience in that context. And similarly, I think the same could also happen with students. In an online class, we might have students who would usually not be able to come to the US, people who cannot come here for economic reasons, visa issues, other reasons like family and ministry commitments. But we could have them in an online class. We could have a student from Mongolia, for example, who could share about their environment and their ministerial context, maybe somehow having like an online diary where they can also upload some photos, and in that sense, and in that way, the students would become a learning resource for one another. And so I think that the big picture here is, of course, that although there's a lot of talk about global theology, a lot of theology that we do is still very Western, or even if it's written by people from other countries, it's written by them after they arrive, for example, here in the United States, and then are able to publish here. And so a lot of material traditionally, of course, is available through books and journals, which is not readily available in other countries and may not also be so attractive in more oral cultures. So I'm looking forward to engage with more visual materials, whether that's photos or videos or art, and to also then engage with both teachers like pastors and professors or students in different contexts and learn about their mission context and learn about the theology that's informing that mission context and learn about the resources and the sources that they have for that theology. And so I think in an online class, it would also be great to have a lot of links, links to websites of ministries and links to websites with theological content in other countries. And that might then also be in other languages other than English. And so that, of course, could be a challenge for students here in the American context, and we would have to see how we deal with that. Possibly students from other countries could help us and translate some of the material into English that is available in their countries, the kind of material that we usually do not come across as we study here in the West, but that would be enriching for all of us to learn more about. And so that's what I'm envisioning for next year, looking forward to it, and also wishing you all the best for the classes that you are planning for and preparing for.